This is not a review of the Sirui 50mm F1.8 1.33x anamorphic lens. Soo-rae is a company that has typically been known for making tripods and other camera accessories. I don't think I ever actually even knew about the company until they released their anamorphic lenses. Today, they are currently making a 50mm and now a 35mm for micro four thirds and APS-C cameras. They retail for $699 and $799 USD. I've been on the lookout for a good deal on the 50mm for Fuji X mount. I was finally able to find one used on eBay for $500 US, and I had to scoop it up before it was too late. Once the lens arrived, I wanted to take it out for a spin. With no project in mind or anything to film, I did what any video maker without a plan would do. I walked around my neighborhood and filmed the corners of buildings. My first impressions of the lens were very positive. It feels really heavy and definitely feels well made. The lens is obviously of very high quality. The focus and aperture rings both feel really nice and responsive. The aperture rings are clickless for smooth aperture changes. It's a very nice and seemingly obvious touch that they added. The anamorphic typography is a little dorky and tasteless. I would not be mad if they removed it. In terms of optical quality, this lens is a bit unique. Everyone talks about how sharp it is. Anamorphic lenses are typically not known for producing a sharp image per se, so this really took me by surprise. I was a bit skeptical when hearing about how sharp it was, but the rumors are definitely true. It is actually very, very sharp, and even at f1.8 wide open, it's super sharp. Most of this footage was filmed at f1.8 with an ND filter attached. In all honesty, I might prefer a lens that's not nearly as sharp as this one is, but I'm also not mad at the fact that this lens is really sharp. I think adding a Pro Mist filter to this lens could do the trick. In this interview setup I did, I filmed one clip without the Pro Mist. And then another clip with the Tiffin 1/8 black Pro Mist filter. It doesn't seem to make a huge difference, but the 1/8 is all that I have, so you'll just have to live with it. Pro Mists are becoming a little overused these days anyway. 50mm on the Super 35 sensor is one of my favorite focal lengths. It is one that can really throw the background out of focus while still giving a little context in a scene. In anamorphic, that feature is honestly just enhanced. You get more real estate on the sides while maintaining the same shallow depth of field achievable by a 50mm lens. The 1.33x squeeze isn't that great at producing the most anamorphic looking image. It is simply not intense of a squeeze to make your bokeh ovular and your out of focus areas look dreamy and elongated. Here is a quick test on my Christmas tree to show you. It's Christmas season, so what a perfect time to test an anamorphic lens. The flares, however, will definitely compensate for the lack in anamorphic qualities. They're blue and look like something right out of a sci-fi movie. I think it is also important to mention that it has about a 3-foot minimum focusing distance, so that can be a little tricky at times if you want to get close-ups, but most anamorphic lenses require a diopter to achieve close focusing anyway, so this is kind of to be expected. So what are my overall thoughts on the lens? I definitely think it's cool. Do I think it's practical? I'm not sure yet. If I'm shooting a project that I think would benefit from an anamorphic look, I'm not grabbing my X-T4 to shoot it, I'm going to use something like the Pocket 6K. I definitely think it's a tough call, but will certainly give your footage a more movie-like quality if that's what you're going for. For the price and the single focus mechanism, you simply can't beat it even if you don't use it that often. This has not been a review of the 50mm Soo-rae on the X-T4. Peace.